there, and welcome to another edition of the Evening Review. My name is Ogito Craig, and in the studio with me this evening I have Mr. Renier Bougard. He is the spokesperson of the former employees of Air Namibia. Mr. Bougard, how are you, sir?
Thank you for having me. I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. You worked for Air Namibia for a long time. Tell us a little bit about what the airline meant to you.
Okay, I worked for the airline for 23 years. It was my livelihood. It wasn't my first job, but it was my last one. Yeah. So, it put bread on the table. As I said, it was my livelihood. It would feed my family. So.
And do you remember when you heard about the decision that the airline would be no more?
Well, it happened quite quickly. Remember, we were first for a year on the ground because of COVID at that time. And then straight after COVID, there was talks about the airline will restructure. Nothing about layoffs, nothing about liquidation. Yeah. The liquidation actually happened within a few weeks. So we didn't have any time to prepare or anything. It just happened.
After that shock of the finding out that the airline was going to be liquidated, I believe promises were made for you guys, the employees of Air Namibia. Can you share?
You see, what happened was, as it is with your it was an involuntary termination. So we didn't ask for the termination. You didn't have an option. The only option that we were given, or leeway that we were given, was said that yes, you will get an ex gratia payment, which is equivalent to 1 year's salary.
Okay.
Which obviously, if you hear that you will get the 1 year's salary, things obviously okay. Yeah. But we were caught off guard. You didn't have much time to think about it. The unions did try to negotiate to say, okay, at least according to the Labour Act, my understanding is that we will get 1 week in severance pay for every year that you worked. The unions then went to negotiate to say, okay, we will take the 1 week, but we'll take it on total cost to company. Okay. That was the negotiation. So you had that exit package that you could negotiate for. And that was agreed. And that is the papers that we signed off as your last terms and conditions of termination. Yeah. That's the documentation that we have in our hand. And that is where we are now, because those things did not materialize.
How many of you are there?
We are 638 employees.
638 families?
Yes.
That were promised this ex gratia payment.
The ex gratia payment we did receive. That was a gratuity payment from government. But the severance package is the one that we are struggling to get.
I see.
We got half of the payments, but not in full, according to the documentation that we have in our hands. Okay. Remember, when you get terminated, you get a separation, like a termination package type of thing. Which is all your documentation, your service certificate, because when you go and apply for another job, they need to know where you worked, what was your last salary, those type of things. Yeah. Also, what is owed to you, what is your last payment. Yeah. That is your leave days, your notice pay, all of that, and your severance package, the 1 week for every year worked type of thing. So that we received. Mine was 388,000. Very clearly I can remember it. But I only received 260. So, and then when you receive this documentation, you go home with it and you go sit and wait for your payments to be done, because now you have severed ties with your previous company, looking for a job. But because Air Namibia was also a specialized industry, it's aviation. I've been there for 23 years. Now, where do you go restart with all that? I was an instructor, I was a senior cabin controller, I was a union president, all those type of things. So where do you go restart now? So you have to rebuild yourself from the word go. And as a minority, where do I go? You understand? As a person that only has grade 12 and all of that, so where do you go and start? So you have to redo and rethink what you have to do. So that is why we are here now, because you depended on that money, which was your termination, that was promised to you. It's on black and white. The paper doesn't lie. It can't speak. It just speaks the truth. That's what was signed. And we are still struggling. We had a high court case. We took the liquidators to court. Okay. for payment. We won the case in the High Court. It's not just the liquidators. We actually took the Master of the High Court also to court. You understand? We were lucky that we got some lawyers that fought on our behalf pro bono.
Who were those lawyers?
Natasha Besingwick.
Okay.
And then Kamo Hange, sorry, I can't remember the surname.
Yeah.
Apologies for her. But we really do respect what they've done for us. And we won the High Court case. Judge Parker pronounced that this money must be paid out. However, as laws are within the country, you have the right to appeal. So the liquidators then appealed. So our court case is now going to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
But we then instructed our lawyers to just find out exactly, because we've been waiting now for this full year, when will our court case be heard?
Continue, yeah.
Because it's been finalized in High Court, it needs to go to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court then informed us through our lawyers that they are only hearing now 20 cases that were filed in 2024.
Okay.
So we'll have to wait until 2026 to be informed about a court date. So that's
only next year will they tell you the date.
The date, yes.
When the case
so that date might be in 2027. You understand? Yeah. So now I've worked for Air Namibia for 23 years. We are fighting for this thing for 4 years now already. So that's 27 years of my life that I had to put on hold to fight this whole issue. Because so who said I must fight for it? You understand? But if I do not fight for myself, who will do it on my behalf?
Yeah, yeah.
We need to stand up and do something for ourselves. I'm a person that will never give up, even if it's if it looks like it's impossible. But I've got God on my side, and God is on our side, and we will see this thing through its natural conclusion.
I see.
So. Why we are here today is tomorrow we will have a media briefing in front of the Ministry of Transport because we have approached the new administration to say, listen, this is the thing that is hanging over our heads for the past 4 years. Is there some way that the government can assist us? Because remember, this thing was instituted. We were wholly owned by the government. We was the only shareholder. I don't want to go into the details of that. We all know Air Namibia was the flag carrier, it was the national pride. And now the people that worked for that airline, which had no cause for the liquidation of it because we were just the workers. We didn't sign contracts or any agreements. We just pitched up for work. They sent you there, you go do your work, you come back. That's what we did. We are now the ones suffering without getting our monies. They said they will assist us, but at this point in time, for them it's not an urgent issue. For us it's an urgent issue because it is a livelihood issue.
Yes.
Remember, if you start getting your salary at the end of the day every month, you can lay back and say, no, just hang on, we'll work on this thing. But what about the person that is not in that position, that can put bread on the table, that this amount is the only amount that they can depend on?
Yes.
You understand? And that is why we want to bring some more urgency to it, and that is why we called for this media briefing, to make the public aware that even though Air Namibia has been liquidated, the workers are not liquidated yet. We are still tied to this whole process. There's also this thing that came up that there's a new national airline that will start. Before the new national airline can start, the old national airline issues needs to be addressed, especially for us that were preferred creditors, that were the human resource capital of the company. Needs to be finalized so that we can move on. There's also a clause in this termination letter that says that we will use our best endeavors to ensure the party which may take over the airline as a growing concern will re-employ the staff on a callback basis, which means that, according to my understanding, that Air Namibia staff with the institutional knowledge that they have, with the, as I said, the specialized industry, will be given a first callback.
Yeah.
So we have the first right for refusal.
Yeah.
So that is our hope. We haven't been informed of anything yet. We did meet with the Minister of Transport. They said they will assist us. It's been a month and a half ago. Nothing has happened so far. We need to speak to the Minister of Finance because our taxes are a mess because of the ex gratia that was granted to us, which was a gratuity payment. We've got the issue with the Supreme Court date. So we wanted to speak to the Minister of Justice so that they can see if they can give us an urgent date. Because, I mean, these are people that worked for the airline that needs to finalize. We are just ordinary citizens. We don't want anything extra. All we want is this thing to be resolved as quickly as possible. I think 4 years have been a long time already. Most of the people during COVID that lost their jobs got the immediate severance packages. Why are we the ones that have to wait 4 years down the line? So are we just supposed to be happy about it or just die, or what are we supposed to do?
And I understand that not all of you who went through that experience are still alive. Some of you have died.
Yeah, there are some of the colleagues that have committed suicide. There are some of the colleagues that have died in natural causes, of course. But we are still fighting for them as well, because their families also depend on us to see this thing through so that their children can get that money that is owed to their father or mother.
Okay. Let's just quickly revisit the issue of the severance. You say some of it has been paid out, but not all of what was agreed. And that you had to take the liquidators to court
for the full payment.
For the full payment. And you won the court case, but the liquidators
appealed.
Are appealing to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
And their argument is that there's not enough to pay? Or
no, the money is there. The money is there. They appealed that. They said that they are correct with what they've done. Remember, when we signed on the last day and we left home, we went home, they went to the Master of the High Court without us being present, because it's your document. You cannot change an amount or amend an amount without me being present or understand why we arrived on a certain amount. You understand? The High Court, the Master of the High Court, without us being present, changed the amounts. You understand?
Mr. Bougard, we'll have to leave it there for one moment. We just need to take a commercial break, but we'll be right back after this. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the Evening Review. My name is Ogito Craig, and with me is Mr. Bougard. He is the spokesperson for the former employees of Air Namibia. Mr. Bougard, you were just explaining to us about the sequence of events that led up to the High Court decision regarding the severance package that you were promised. And we were just trying to understand why you only got part of the amount that was presented to you in black and white.
Okay.
Yeah, if you could just take us.
Okay, each of us got a document like this, which is proof of an open account, etc., which was signed under oath on the last day of termination.
Yes.
That is the amount that you were told is owed to you. That's your severance notice and whatnot. Now, this amount was then filed with the High Court, and the High Court had to go through their processes and whatnot, but we were not informed. 6 months down the line, we were informed that, okay, your amount is now changed. But why was it changed? The negotiation took place, you agreed, we left, whatever, we signed off. If you were not in agreement, why did you sign it off? Why did you give it to us? And why did we leave the company and went home and wait for your money? So the amount was then changed with the stamp of the Master of the High Court. We then saw it fit to say, okay, if this is what you want to do, we'll go to the High Court. We then went to the High Court, we won the case. So obviously, we are on the right, isn't it? Now we need to go to the Supreme Court. So we have to go through all these hoops and doors and jump over everything just to get money that you worked for. Remember, 23 years, 1 week for every for the 23 years that you've worked. It's not that lot of money. You can see the monies that are flying around here every day. It looks like $1 million is nothing to some people. You understand? Now, for us, we are just wanting what is owed to us for the years that you've worked for, that you sacrificed. Remember, during the winter times, we were supposed to be at the office 3 o'clock in the morning to go and have a flight and stuff like that. So you sacrificed, you've put your body on the line. Well, you've worked for it, you know. We did our honest living. We didn't steal any money or nothing.
I
So
appreciate that.
we just want to have what is owed to us, and not just me, all the employees of Air Namibia. You understand? Some of them were lucky now that they've got a job, but there are some of our colleagues that are still struggling, that are still unemployed.
Yes.
So is there no empathy for us?
Yeah.
Yes, I know a lot of people are maybe angry with Air Namibia employees because, yes, we had a nice ride, we could go to London, we could go to Frankfurt and stuff like that, but it is a job like anything else, and there's a benefit to any job that you do. You know, if you at nuts, you can study for free, those type of things. So I just want people to understand that this is not, this is just a professional thing. We just want the money that we work for. And I'm inviting everybody that feels that we are hard done by. We are inviting them to the media briefing tomorrow to come and show their support at 9 o'clock at the Ministry of Transport, so that hopefully there will be some urgency to this matter, and that we can get the full payment of our money or the rest of our monies.
Take us through the issue with the ex-gratia payment.
Ex-gratia payment. Ex-gratia was a gratuity payment that we did not force it on anyone. It was said that because you worked for Air Namibia, we will give you an ex-gratia payment and all of these things that you will go through. I think what they maybe thought was the liquidation process will take 1 year, hence the 1 year salary, equivalent to 1 year salary.
Okay.
It's not a salary per se, it's an ex-gratia payment. So you cannot call it a salary, it was equivalent to a salary, just to get to a quantum that you have to give to somebody. Because you couldn't give an average payment or whatever, you had to work out something. So that ex-gratia payment was then given. We had to fight again with NAMRA to say, listen, we're supposed to get 300,000 tax-free on this thing. How come you tax the full amount? You understand? Eventually, they gave the 300,000 tax-free back, but then we understood that ex-gratia was actually be totally tax-free. We don't know. But that is why we need to speak to the powers that be, to
the finance minister.
The finance minister, so that they can assist us in this matter. But now what happens is that the ex-gratia is like a spanner in the wheel with regard to tax.
I see.
There's a lot of tax issues that ex-gratia brought on top of that. Like now, we cannot claim the 300,000 on our severance. We have to pay the full severance tax. But because it's in court, we have not paid the tax on that one yet. So, but we need to find out what we can do. What is the assistance that can be given, or will we get the 300,000 on that as well? So, but it's a conundrum.
In terms of NAMRA, have you only been able to speak to the NAMRA employees, or has NAMRA's management given you an audience?
Nobody wants to see us. We've spoken to the legal advisors. We've written to the legal advisors. We've written to Parliament, Parliamentarian Standing Committee on Human Resources and Public Administration. We haven't gotten any feedback. We've submitted two petitions. They never saw it fit. And these are the people that swore an oath to help the people of Namibia.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, I've got a Namibian passport, so I'm a Namibian. And each and every one of us that have worked for Air Namibia.
Yes.
But up to now, two petitions, the Parliamentarian Committee called us once and not again. So, but I think it's because we are based maybe in Windhoek. There's no traveling involved, if you understand what I mean.
For SNT.
Yes.
I see.
Okay. So, these issues have not been dealt with. We've done our processes.
Yes.
The three arms of government, we've written letters, we've applied to go for petitions, we've submitted the petitions, we've went to media, we wrote letters, we did this, we did that. We did everything in our power that we can do.
Yeah.
Now, what other option is left for us?
Yeah.
What other options? There's another. We also had like a sit-in at Air Namibia building. I don't know.
I remember. I was there.
For a whole week, we slept on the hard pavements. But that's how we got part of the payment, not the full payment. You understand? So we think maybe it's something that we need to do again, or maybe something else that we need to. But something needs to give. We need to do something. And yeah, we've got the full support of everyone. So yeah, hopefully they will come out in masses tomorrow, and we can deal with this issue once and for all, because nobody wants to have this hang over your head forever. You understand? We need to move on.
Yeah.
We need the new airline to start on a clear blank page, Hopefully we can be part of it so that we can hit the ground running. The former employees of Air Namibia, because like I said, we've got the institutional knowledge. We know what the pitfalls are. We learned from the experience in the past. So we can only be up to a benefit for the new airline that will start. But yeah.
When you were still working for Air Namibia, how did you feel about the airline? Was it a source of pride for you?
Of course. If we played in the Premier League, if I can use the analogy of soccer. Even though we're a small country with a small population, logistically we're far away from Europe.
Yeah.
But because we've got that colonial thing is with Germany, we had to fly to Germany to bring them here. Us in South Africa, we offer the same things.
Yes.
So if they can go to South Africa, they'll go directly to South Africa. Why do they need to stop in Namibia? You understand? We've got the animals and our wildlife and our tourism. Our tourism, I don't know what the contribution now is on the GDP, but it used to be one of the biggest contributors to GDP.
Yes.
And we're lagging behind it. And it's a gem that we can start and we can create employment. Yes. You understand? The thing with Air Namibia was never to make profit, but to employ.
Yes. And
people pay tax.
Yes.
And stuff like that. Sometimes you need to break an egg to make an omelette. Yes. It's not always about profit. It's about what significance or what contribution you can give. It doesn't necessarily have to mean financial or physical, physical,
yes.
But you can do something else, you understand?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not here to sell Air Namibia or whatever, but we did do a valuable contribution to the GDP, you understand? If I can just when I flew, we used to have a load factor of 75% on the aircraft.
Okay.
So that means on every day, the aircraft was full 75% of the time.
Okay.
Okay. So now if you check, one flight will take off, one flight will come back. If you count all of those people and one tourist came to spend just 50 euros.
Yeah.
Count that 50 euros, change it into Namibian dollars per day. How much it would be over 365 days.
Yes.
But nobody did any investigation. Everything was just bad mouthing and stuff like that. So there was nobody that stood up to say, no, but let's also look at the positive sides. It was all just negative. But maybe that was a narrative that people wanted to sell for the liquidation.
I see. And now, after having gone through all of this, how do you feel now as an ex-Air Namibia employee? Do you feel that you guys were betrayed?
Well, when you lose your livelihood, you lose your life. It's like killing a person. And it's been a hard 4 years. But you manage and you try and you pick yourself up because you don't give up, because you've got children that you have to look after. So you just follow the grind and stuff like that. Not all of us are politically connected. Not all of us have families that are rich. Not all of us are educated. But you make do with what you have and you try and survive. We are still here. All we are wanting from whoever can assist us, because we don't know where to turn to anymore. Everywhere, there was one day, maybe I shouldn't mention that one because it will put the government in a bad light. But but those are the experiences that we had, and everybody can speak to it because I wasn't alone in this whole thing. It's a committee that drives this whole process. I want to thank the committee for always standing behind me and giving me that passion and that drive, to put this thing forward. Because, when you fight alone against a system or whatever, it feels like you're fighting a losing battle. But you have to prolong and you have to push through and see where you can get. So once again, I just like to thank you guys for especially the media, that take time, because without you guys, we will not have a platform where we can discuss this thing openly, and people can understand where we're coming from. Because I know people, you see the Facebook comments, you see social media comments and stuff like that, and sometimes it hurts what they're saying, while you are just here trying to do your best and trying to see that everybody gets what is owed to them. So I would just like to thank the media once again for taking the time and giving us this platform, so that we can change the narrative, basically, and give a positive light to it, and see what exactly it is, what our troubles are, and how we can. Because we need to pull together. This is the only country we have. We are here to stay. We are here to make a contribution. So what else is there for us to do?
Thank you very much. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. But please, if you feel it is important and the right thing to do, come out and support them tomorrow. And with that, enough for tonight. But tomorrow evening, there will be another evening review. Thank you very much.